All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachah Kodash, and double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to our Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and today is Friday the 13th, all right, 2025, the hopeful year of the destruction of his kingdom, and the deliverance of the elect. All right, and we saw yesterday, especially yesterday evening, right around a little bit after 7, brothers was on the phone, going through a little class discussion, and we started hearing breaking news. All right, breaking news of Israel striking Iran. All right, they hit them with, I believe they said 6 airstrikes. All right, now it could be more, especially nowadays with how they report the news. Sometimes you be sitting there, next thing you know, it's like, oh, we're all at peace, nothing actually happened, So sometimes they skew a lot of information, but, that's why we have the prophecies to keep us, on the straight and narrow. So it's very hard for Esau to deceive us because we have the words of the prophecies. All right, we understand what times we're in. Okay, this is all biblical prophecy. We're going to get that right now. This is all leading to World War III. All right, this is how much closer we are to World War III. And remember, our Lord Yahushua mentioned, all right, of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, so we are in those times where we're witnessing all these prophecies that the Lord and many different prophets mentioned, okay, of the signs of the end. Okay, and the biggest one, all right, which we're going to get is the signs that leads to World War III, the actual time where the nations around the world go to war in the Levant area. Okay, you have the major countries like Russia, you have China, you have North Korea, you have the European nations, okay, you have India, all right, they're joining into the fray. All right, you have a lot of these, Iran, right, Turkey, okay, these are all countries that are mentioned in the scriptures and in prophecy, Ezekiel 38, all right, along with Russia, to wage war against the beast, okay, Esau, Edom's kingdom's military rulership known as NATO. And when NATO getting in the fray, you're going to have World War III go nuclear, okay? You have NATO countries that are, at this moment, are not even on the same page, like Turkey and Israel. Well, Israel is not part of NATO, but Israel is supported by America, which is the head of NATO. So by proxy, Israel is, in a way, part of NATO, because everything that's going on with Israel right now is what's going to bring America into the war. Even though they're not part of NATO and Article 5 doesn't apply to them, Israel I'm talking about, America will end up joining in, and if America joins in, then the rest of the NATO nations are going to join in. Okay? But as it stands right now, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So, again, this is all part of it. Okay? We who understand, all right, prophecy, we know that the last major prophecy is the mandatory implementation of the MOTB. All right, if we're seeing signs that's leading to that here in America, then we know we're that much closer, especially when we look out into the Middle East and we see what's going on over there. Okay? Major prophecy moves happening. Okay? It says, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom," and that's what we're seeing now. Okay? We're seeing countries coming against each other, and we're seeing people within countries coming against each other. Okay? It says, "And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." We could check off all those marks because we believe that we're about to enter into CV 2.0. And I believe this is going to be the final blow for them to be able to usher in the MOTB, because the CV1 1.0, all right, that shit changed the world into what we're having now. We literally went from doing Zoom calls that constantly dropped to now AI is doing videos on YouTube automated. Like, what the hell? In 5 years? Right? So that shit, just that alone was able to set the stage for CV 2.0. Okay? We've seen that technological advancements that happen just from that one time alone. We can expect, all right, especially being the times that we're in now, we can expect those technologies to increase with CV 2.0, and that could literally bring in the MOTB. I was talking about this yesterday, about how AI has sped up everything so much that, yo, by the end of this year, we're going to be living in a completely different world. By the end of this year, 2025, we're going to be living in a completely different world, man. It's that's how quick things are moving. That's how fast, all right, prophecy is happening. So we're seeing Israel, Iran. We know, oh, we that much closer, because I was like, that's the one. You know, the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's literally what's going on right now. When you look at all the alliances that these countries have, Iran, Russia, those are heavy hitters, man. China, fuck with Russia. Economically, militarily, they fuck with each other. Okay? They're part of the BRICS nation. So those countries are always going to band with each other. If China is ahead of everything, you know, technologically, all right, AI-wise and all these different things, you don't think Russia is also going to be joining in part of that? Russia probably got some crazy, you know, weapons, like AI weapons that's like, yo, what is this? You know? Because they're like, yo, Russia's, they top notch with this thing. All right, that's why the Lord's going to use them to destroy Babylon. Okay? When you go into, you know, their missile arsenal, man, yeah. All right. So it says, so Yahushua mentions pestilences. So that's what I'm saying about the CV 2.0. Okay, and that's coming soon. Because all these are the beginning of sorrow. So we're seeing things picking up day by day. We can put the pieces together and say, okay, we're that much closer. Okay, we're that much closer. All right, it's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." Right, so face towards that area, and today's land, okay, is occupied by those who are known today as the Russians. All right, and even Elder Apostle Harz brought out, right, that Russia literally is Hebrew, okay, for chief prince, Ra'ash Shar, okay, head or chief is Ra'ash, and Shar is prince in the Hebrew. So Russia is Ra'ash Shar, chief prince. Okay, so it's talking about them, okay, Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Okay, give him, or it says, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. You hear that? All sorts of armor is talking about their different types of weapons. Okay? There are different types of military trainings and tactics and all kinds of stuff. You see what they're doing in Ukraine, it's crazy. You know, the news doesn't bring those kind of information out, because then people will see the reality of what's really going on. You know, that ultimately America doesn't stand a chance when those missiles fly out here. I don't care if Trump puts a golden dome or a silver dome or a golden bronze dome. Nothing's going to stop the Lord's destruction of this place. All right, that's biblical prophecy. If it wasn't so, why would he be bothered with a damn dome? Because they know. That's why. Okay? They know. They know everything the prophets have been saying, all right, is coming to pass. And they acknowledge it, because Benjamin Netanyahu said it. All right, let me see if I can find that. You mentioned how we're living in a time of prophecy. You know, the Bible prophecies are jumping off the pages of the book. I think I found it.
The Bible is really being played out in real time on this. But understand how the Bible is really being played out in real time on this piece of earth that is so critical to our common civilization. And there's a lot of bad fake news out there. One thing I heard of recently,
he said there's a lot of fake news out there. What he's trying to say is, the Bible, the prophecies are happening. I know people are tuning into what the prophets are saying, but there's a lot of fake news, so don't really, that kind of thing. Nah, but he's even acknowledging that, hey, the Bible prophecies are happening, so everybody sees it, man. And we know he's a liar, all right? Malakovsky, we know he's a liar. He's a damn demon, but the Lord is still using him, all right, to bring about prophecy. All right, we're gonna get that as well. Okay, it says here, with all sorts of armor, Ezekiel 38:4, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. All right, so they're all, that's why they're always doing all these deals, right? And Russia will join in. Oh, we have an arms deal, blah blah blah, with Iran, and we're building up their so-called nuclear arsenal and whatever shit they may be doing. They're always making some form of alliances. All right, so they're all gonna be ready to go. Okay, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Right, so you got Persia, which is what? Iran. Okay, and some of these African northeastern part of African countries, all right, they're also going to be joining an alliance. Why? Because of their location is also part of where the destruction is going to be at. It's literally the Levant area, man. And all these countries around the northern region of Africa, north all the way to the east, all right, pretty much the whole continent, but pretty much around that area for the most part, they engage directly with commerce all around the surrounding, continents. Europe, right above them, and so on and so forth. So it's a major location if you have dominance around that area, and that's what this is all about. All right, the so-called Greater Israel Project. That's what these devils are in their mind. They want to fulfill biblical prophecy by taking over the land that the Lord promised us. Okay, and they saying that, oh, we're gonna have the line or whatever, through Saudi Arabia all the way through that area where they're trying to conquer right now. This is all going back to what General Wesley Clark said. He talked about they trying to conquer, was it 7 nations in 5 years or something like that? All right, and the last one on the list was Iran. Okay, they were going to take out Syria, I believe it was Syria, Iraq, Libya, Lebanon, Somalia. Where's the other one? I'm drawing a blank. It was 2 more. Iran was the last one, and Iraq, I think, if I didn't mention that. All right, but it was those countries that they wanted to topple so they could have that part of that region, that land, and then do what they got to do now with this whole Greater Israel Project shit. They want to have control over that area because that's the center of the earth. That's the center of the earth, man. And the Iranians are not trying to hear that. They're like, yo, who the hell are you to come tell us we can't have this and we can't have that? So Netanyahu and them, their whole thing is to push propaganda like they always do. Push constant propaganda and say that, we're trying to liberate the oppressed people of that land, and we're also trying to stop these people from developing. We're trying to stop these people from developing uranium and all these different things. I got another video right here for them. We're gonna keep exposing you devils here.
So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our 2 ancient peoples will flourish once again.
You see? So he comes up with his lies, all right, about the reason why we're doing all this attacking Iran is because we're trying to liberate the oppressed people, and we're also trying to stop them from developing nuclear missiles to come and destroy us. This is crazy. But again, this is the propaganda that they push around the world. And here in America, they use the media to keep pushing that shit. Politicians saying the same thing. So now the people start believing it. They actually made people support a complete genocide of a people who were there before them. Okay? Before they got into that land in 1948, You have people that were living in there, even though it's not their land. They were still there before Esau and Amalek got in there through the Balfour Declaration. Okay, so even that same night, I believe there was a war that broke out. I believe with them in Egypt. Ultimately, you see what happened with Egypt when they took out the president a few years ago. I think it was during Obama's time, and before they took out Gaddafi. You know, I forget his name. Hussein Mubarak, I think. Was it Mubarak? I don't remember, but it was one of them presidents, man. You know, took him out, destroyed the whole entire country. When they did the same thing with Libya, destroyed the whole entire country. Okay, so that was the toppling of those countries they were talking about. They would start making war against Somalia. Okay, and it was always propaganda. It's always the same or similar theme. You know, before they went into Afghanistan, same thing. Iraq, right? Talking about Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. You know, just so they could come up with a war, just to justify their genocide, their destruction of a place, and their takeover. All right, let's get that real quick. And that's again, these devils, this is what they do. Okay, this is what they do. There's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as death, and is as death. All right. That's crazy. And is as death, right? That's a spirit. That's the spirit of Esau, man. Okay. He is as death. All right. I am. What do you say? The Bhagavad Gita. He said, which was said by Oppenheimer after he created the atomic bomb. All right. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, or something like that. You know. So that's the spirit that they come in. All right. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay? Come into a one world order and have power over everyone, all the nations, man, through a so-called microchip. All right, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunted proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? And how does he do it? Through violence. Through the same shit he's trying to do with Iran right now. Okay? That he just did with Syria. Okay? Oh, Assad is trying to, he's destroying his people. He's killing his people with sarin gas. Oh, we need to go help the people. It wasn't working. So then they created ISIS, the Islamic State. What happened to them? ISIS. Remember ISIS? You know? Proxy army ass niggas. They sent them over there, started some shit. Oh, look, there's ISIS here. We need to go in and save the Syrians from ISIS. And Russia said, if you dare step your ass, okay, all right. You know? All these years back in 2014, you know, same thing with Ukraine. Before Zelensky got in there was another guy who was in there. I believe, was it Poroshenko, if I'm not mistaken? And then they did a whole coup. Victoria Nuland and them, the CIA, they went and toppled that government. Okay? This is what they do, man. All right? And all this stuff is all happening. And when you notice these things and you call it out, they call you anti, you know what? Okay? They don't say you're wrong. They say you're anti, you know what? Something that was made up. It says, so going back to Ezekiel. All right, and then I'm gonna close it out because I got a step. Actually, you know what? Let's get this in Jeremiah because I want to jump straight to the point here. All right, so you seen what's going on. All right. It's like here. All right, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and verse 20. It says, Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, that he hath taken against Edom. Okay, and who's the head tribe of Edom, man? Amalek. Who are the Jays today. Okay, it says, And it says, against Edom, all right, who is he that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Who? All right. It says, and his purpose is that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Taman, all right, the so-called Germans, okay. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And the least of the flock is who? Israel. Okay? The Zionist state of Israel today. All right? Not the Israelites, not the what they call the Hebrew Israelites, or what these people call the black Hebrew Israelites. No. All right? But not the Hebrew Israelites. It's talking about the least of the flock. It's talking about Israel, Israelis, or the Zionist state of Israel. Okay? Shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And that's the beginnings that you're seeing now. All right? All these things leads to the destruction of Israel, bringing in that third world war. And as we speak, you got more breaking news popping off. All right, what they saying? Listen to this. Iran officially withdraws from nuclear negotiations with the United States. There you go. All right, as we're doing the video about them potentially doing things ultimately to lead into prophecy, because prophecy says that they're going to come against each other anyway, and America is going to have to, support Israel. So now that they're saying, yo, we're not doing no negotiations with you, there's no reason why America can't jump in now. Maybe the only reason is, the American people are looking up and like, hey, we don't want this, we don't want to be a part. This is not our war, right? Israel versus Iran, that's why we got to be in there, because those people don't know what's going on. So they're going to start pushing back. But guess what? They could start a false flag, a nice one, and say, yo, Iranians just attacked, we got to go in. We just had a major cyber attack, boom, we got to go in. Something, so they affect the people here enough for people to be so angered by the propaganda, the agitation propaganda they're going to be fed while those things are happening, okay, which is all going to be fake, it's all going to be made up, but they're going to give a narrative to support their propaganda agenda of going into war, okay, going in to help Israel, okay, and by them, America going into there, you're going to have a lot of the European nations who are part of NATO to try to stop America. They go, hey, listen, we don't want to be a part of this. You guys need to stop. Israel's not even a NATO country, but your policies is what's going to fuck everybody else up. All right, because now Russia is going to get crazy and they're going to join Iran. And they're going to be like, oh, well, shit, we with Israel. We stand with Israel. All right, if you stand with Israel, then we're not with this no more. We're going to stand against you. Okay? So let's get that real quick. All right. Right here is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which are the 10 horns represents the European nations that are part of the NATO alliance. Okay? These shall hate the whore. The whore represents America, Babylon the Great, the one that the whore that sitteth on many waters. All right, the waters represents the people and the nations. Okay? And she's sitting in the sense that she's ruling over these nations politically, all right, through geopolitics, through the dollar, all right, militarily, okay, through their so-called NATO and military might, all right. So those things alone, America is using to dominate, all right, and rule over the world. And of course, their alliance with these central bankers, that goes all into the money. Okay, it says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right. So those nations are going to turn on America. Okay, though they're part of the system, they will turn on America because of America's foreign policy, for the most part, because that affects them directly, economically, all right, even endangering their countries physically with nuclear threat, So that, again, the reality is setting in, and all these countries are going to start pushing back against America and Israel's bullshit. All right, there's more. Oh yeah, they're saying they're arresting the DHS. Oh shit. What's his name? Senator Alex Padilla. He got arrested. I guess he was mentioning something against the DHS secretary. All right, so hey, everything, man. Things are happening everywhere. All right, it's a beautiful thing. All right, it's just happening, just like that. Boom, it just start picking up. Right? It's gonna be an interesting rest of the year. Let me just say it like that. All right, if things go as they're going right now, it's going to be a very interesting rest of the year, man. All right, Lord willing. Lord willing. All right, beautiful, man. Hey, call Lord Yahbashim Yahushai. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna leave it up there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Bachakodash, the Wadi Yahbashim Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.